Today, the topic is the Euler-Stoian function. Euler-Stoian function, it is also known as the pi function, and the symbol is pi symbol. We can use this symbol pi of n. Okay, we can find out the count of the number of integers that are both smaller than n and relatively prime to n. So if you wanted to know the number of integers which are less than n and those are relatively prime to n, that means the numbers which are co-prime to the n. Assume n is any integer value. For example, if n is 3, so here pi of 3 means so it gives the number of elements below the 3. Those are co-prime to 3. That means co-prime means the two numbers are co-prime when their GCD is equal to 1, their greatest common divisor is equal to 1, then we can say both the numbers are co-primes. For example, GCD of 3, 2, GCD of 3, 2 is equal to 1. That's why the co-prime to 3 is 2, and also the number 1 is co-prime to all the elements. We can say number 1 is the co-prime to all the elements. So here the pi function or Euler-Stoian function, that is pi of n, it gives the total count, total number of elements which are less than n and they should be the co-primes to the n. So if you see this table, n equal to 1, if n is the 1, pi of n means 0. That means below the 1 there are no elements. Now if n is equal to 2, number 2, so below the 2, 1 is there. So the co-prime of 2 is only one number is there. So pi of 2 is 1. And what is the pi of 3? What is the pi of, if the n is 3, what is the pi of 3? So it is 2. What are those elements? The co-primes to 3 are 1, number 1 and number 2, because GCD of 3, 1 is 1, GCD of 3, 2 is also 1. That's why the co-primes of 3 are 1 and 2. So pi of 3 is 2. And what are the co-primes of 4? Co-primes of the 4 are generally number 1 and number 3 are the co-primes for the 4, because GCD of 4 and 1 is 1 and GCD of 4, 3 is also 1. That's why, but GCD of 4, 2 is 0. The remainder is 0. So the greatest common divisor of 4, 2 is, it is not 0. It is GCD of 4, 2 is GCD of, if you consider the number 2, so 4 and 2, GCD of 4, 2 is equal GCD of 2, that means this 2 comma 2 2's 4, that's why remainder is 0. This is equal to 2. So GCD of 4 comma 2 is 2, it's not 1. That's why the co-primes to the 4 are 1 and 3 only. So pi of 4 is equal to 2 only. Similarly, pi of 5, pi of 6 is 2, pi of 7 is 8. Like that. Pi of 9 is 6. That means pi of 9 equal to 6 means there are 9 co-primes, there are 6 co-primes below the 9. Below the 9. So if you check this one, what are the co-primes of 9? If you check GCD of 9 comma number 1, otherwise 9 comma 2, 9 comma 4, 9 comma 5, 9 comma 7, 9 comma, all are given the 1. The greatest common divisor with 9 and 1 and 9 and 2, 9 and 4, 9 and 5, 9 and 7, 9 and 8 are 1. So the co-primes of 9 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. So the pi of 9 is equal to 6. Since there are 6 elements, pi of 9 is equal to 6. So Euler's totient function gives the number of integers that are both are smaller than n and the co-primes of n. Now these are some of the there are different properties of the Euler's totient function. So if the number is 1, pi of 1 is 1, pi of 1 is 0, because there is no element below the 1. And another property is, if you assume p is a prime number, then pi of this prime number is equal to p minus 1, prime number minus 1. For example, pi of any prime number 13, example 13 is the prime number, is equal to 13 minus 1 is equal to 12. So for any prime number, pi of the totient function or pi function for the prime is p minus 1. That's why if you see, and another property is if A and B are relatively primes or co-primes, then pi of A and B, A into B, assume A and B are the co-primes. So pi, that is equal to pi of A into pi of B. This is another property. So if you want to, for example, pi of 2 into 5, because and 2 and 5 are the co-primes. So pi of 2 into 5 is equal to pi of 2 into pi of 5. So since it is the prime, its value is 2 minus 1. That means 1 into, since it is 5 is prime, its value is 4, is equal to 4. That's why in this way we will calculate the pi function. And another property is, if p is a prime, then pi of p power, that prime number power any exponent value, is equal to p power e minus p power e minus 1. That means pi of 3 cube is equal to pi of 3 cube, it is equal to 3 cube minus 3 cube minus 1, that means 3 square. So 9, 27 minus 9, its value is that one, 27 minus 9. This is the pi of 3 cube value. Like this we will calculate the pi of p power e value. These are some of the examples. Fine. Pi of 7, since 7 is the prime number, its value is 7 minus 1 is equal to 6. That means pi of 7 means the total number of co-primes less than 7 are 6. And find pi 21. So 21 is 3 into 7. Its value is, it can be divided into 3 into 7. So pi of 3 into 7 is equal to pi of 3 into pi of 7. This is equal, pi of 3 is 2, pi of 7 is 6, so 12. And pi of 77. So pi of 77 is equal to pi of 7 into 11. So it is pi of 7 into pi of 11. Both are the primes. That's why its value is 6. Its value is 11 minus 1, 10. So is equal to 60. And what is the pi of 3 square value? Pi of 3 square. This is 3 square minus 3 square minus 1. That's why 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. So these are some of the examples. And what is the pi of 13? Since it is the prime number, pi of 13 is equal to 12 minus 1. What is the value of the pi of 10? Pi of 10 means the 10 can be written as 2 into 5. So pi of 2 into 5. That is pi of 2 into pi of 5. Both are primes. So 1 into 4 is equal to 4. And what is the pi of 240? Pi of 240 can be written as 2 to the power of 4, 3 power 1, 5 power 1. So this 2 power 4 can be written as 2 power 4 minus 2 cube. 3 power 1 can be written as 3 power 1 minus 3 power 0. This 5 power 1 minus 5 power 0. This is the formula for like pi of, this is the property, pi of e power, p power e is equal p power e minus p power e minus 1. So by using this property, we will calculate this value. And another example is pi of 49. Pi of, the pi of 49 means pi of 7 into 7. Pi of 7 into pi of 7. It is not like that. We have the 7 is prime and here also 7 is prime. So pi of 49 can be written as 6 into pi of 7 is 6, pi of 7 is 6, 6 into 6 is 36. So this answer is wrong because this pi of 49 can be written as pi of 7 square. This, its value is 7 square minus 7 power 2 minus 1, that is 1. So 49 minus 7. So its value is 42, not 36. This is the correct answer. So the residue, multiplicative residues Z14. What is the number of elements in Z14 star? So since it is the 14, residue is 14, modulus is 14. So pi of 14 is equal to pi of 7 into pi of 2. Pi of 7 is 6, pi of 2 is 2 minus 1, 1. So it is equal to 6. So here, if n greater than 2, whatever we wanted to calculate, that number n is greater than 2, then the value of pi n is even. If n is greater than 2, for all the values greater than 2, the pi value, pi of n value is even. If you observe this one. So for example, if it is 14, the n value is 6. And it is 49, the n value is 42. And it is 240, it is 64. All are the evens. All are the even. And 13, it is the 12. 10, it is 4. All are the even numbers. So for any number greater than 2, the pi value is even. So this is the 2Tn, Euler's 2Tn function or pi function. Next, Euler's theorem. We have Euler's theorem. So there are two versions. The Euler's theorem specifies two versions. If we assume A and n are co-primes or relatively primes, assume number A is one number, n is another number, both are co-primes. If A and n are the co-primes, then a power pi n is congruent to 1 mod n. That means whatever the modulus or is there, n is there, and here any co-prime number power of pi n, this is the n. If it is the n, this is the pi n. So this relation is like this. For example, a power, assume a is 2 and n is 5. So since 2 and 5 are co-primes, now a mean otherwise so a is 2 and n is 5. A is 2, n is 5. So this is 2 power pi of n. N means 5 is equal to 1 modulo 5. So because 2 pi of 5 is, what is the pi of 5? Since 5 is the prime number, pi of 5 is the 4. So its value is equal to, actually its value is equal to the power of 4. So to the power of 4 is, it is 16. So 16 mod, this modulus is 5. 16 modulo division with 5 is 1. So this is the first relation. The first version of the Euler's theorem specifies a power pi of n is congruent to 1 mod n. Both here, assume a and n are co-primes. If a and n are the co-prime numbers, then a power, its pi n value is always is equal to 1. The second version of the Euler's theorem is same thing. A power some k times, the k value can be any, some k times into this pi n plus 1 is congruent to a mod n. So here a power only pi n is congruent to 1. Here a power some k times of pi n plus 1 is congruent to a. So this second version is used in the RSA crypto system, that will be explained in the next class. So these are the two versions. So if you see the examples, for example, a is equal to 3 and n is equal to 10. So a is equal to 3. So 3 power pi of 10. Since 3 and 10 are co-primes, so its answer is equal to 1. So if you check this one, 1 mod 10. If you check this one, so 3 power pi of 10 means its value is pi of 10 value can be calculated like this. Pi of 10, it is not the prime, that's why pi of 10 is equal pi of 2 into pi of 5. So both are primes, that's why its value is 1 and its value is 4 into 4 is equal to 4. So pi of 10 is 4. This can be 3 power pi 10 means 3 power 4. If you modulo divide this with 10, its value is 81. 3 power 4 is 81. 81 modulo division with 10 is equal to 10 eighths 80 and the remainder is 1. So 3 power pi 10, pi of 10 is congruent to 1 mod 10 is true. Now if you check the another example, find the result of 6 power 24 mod 35. So 6 power 24 mod 35. Now actually pi of 35, here modulo divisor is 35. So What is the pi of 35? Pi of 35 can be written as 7 into 5. So 5 into 7, otherwise 5 into 7 is 35. So its pi values are, its pi value, pi of 5 into pi of 7 is equal 4 into 6 is equal 24. So pi of 35 is 24. So 6 power 24 mod 35 can be written as 6 power 24. 24 can be written as 6 power pi 35. Pi 35 is 24. That's why instead of 24, I am using pi 35. So 6 power 535. 6 power 535 modulo division 35. That means here we have 35, here we have 535. That's why it is congruent to 1. And this example is 3 power 4 mod 10. Since the pi 10 is 4, pi of 10 is 4, 3 power 4 is equal to 3 power 510. 4 can be replaced with 510. So here we have 510 and here 10. That's why it is equal to 1. Similarly, third example is find the result of 20 power 20 power 62 mod 77. So here this can be written as actually pi of 77. What is the pi of 77? Since the modular divisor is 77, it is composite value. Pi of 77 value is pi of 7 into pi of 11 is equal, this is 7 minus 1, this is 11 minus 1. So 6 into 10 is equal to 60. So pi of 77 is equal to 60. But we have, here we have 62. That means we should use the second version of the Euler's theorem. That is a power some k times into a power k times into pi n plus 1 is congruent to a. That means 20 power 62 mod 77 can be written as first 20 power 62. 20 power 62 can be written as 20 power 1 into 20 power 61. So this 20 power 62 can be written as 20 mod 77 into 20 power 61. 61 means 60 plus 1 mod 77. So this 20 mod 77 is 20 modulo division 77. So it is 20. It is 20. Its value is 20. But 20 power 60 plus 1. This can be written. This 60 is nothing but pi of 77. 20 power pi of 77 plus 1 mod 77. So this is the same as to the second version of the Euler's formula. So what is Euler's formula? A power some k times of pi n plus 1. Here the k value is 1. That's why 20 power k is 1 into pi power 77 pi 77, that is 60 plus 1. So this is, so instead of this one 20 power pi 77 plus 1 mod 77 is 20. It's 20. That means a power k into pi n plus 1 is equal to a. That's why 20 power some pi 77 plus 1 is equal to 20. That's why this 20 mod 77 is 20. This 20 power pi 77 is 20. 20 into 20. 400 modulo division, 400 modulo division with 77. The remainder is 15. So by using that Euler's theorem, we can find out the multiplicative inverses. Multiplicative inverses for the modulo a composite value. Modulo composite. If the modulo divisor value is prime, that is one way for calculating the multiplicative inverse. But if the modulo divisor is composite number, then this Euler's theorem is useful to find out the multiplicative inverse by using this relation. So if you want to find out the multiplicative inverse of A inverse modulo division n. Here assume n is the composite number. It is not the prime or composite number. So A inverse of mod some composite number is equal to A power pi n. If n is the composite number, then A inverse mod n is equal to A power this pi n minus 1 mod n. So A inverse mod n, where n is the composite number, is equal to A power this pi n minus 1 mod n. So for example, if you consider, if you wanted to calculate 8 inverse mod 77, so 77 is the composite number. So that's why 8 inverse mod 77 can be written as 8 power this pi 77 minus 1. So pi 77 is 60 already, we know. So pi 77 is 60 minus 1 is 59. So the multiplicative inverse of 8 modulo division of 77 is equal to 8 power 59 mod 77. This is equal to 29 mod 77. Similarly, the second example, 15. 7 inverse of modulo division, 7 inverse modulo division of 15. 15 is the composite number. That's why this is equal to 7 power this pi of 15 minus 1. Pi of 15 value is 7. What is the pi of 15 value? Pi of 15 is equal to 7. How to get it? 15 is nothing but 3 into 5. Pi of 3 into 5. So both are the prime. So its value is 2, its value is 4. 2 into 4 is 8. Pi of 4 is 2, 4 is 8. So its value is pi of 15, its value is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. So 7 square mod 15 is equal to 13. So how to calculate a number with exponent mod load division with some value? Already I explained in the previous class. Next topic is the primitive root and multiplicative orders. So here, multiplicative order. What is the meaning of the multiplicative order? Assume some a and n are the coprimes, coprime numbers. Then the multiplicative order of a, the multiplicative order of the a modulo n, multiplicative order of a modulo n is the some smallest integer k. So multiplicative order of a, multiplicative order of some number a modulo n. Here a and n are coprimes. So multiplicative order of a modulo n is the smallest positive integer of smallest integer k. That is the k. Multiplicative order is the k with this relation, that is a power k. A power k is congruent to 1 modulo n. So that means whenever you are dividing, modulo divide the a power k with n, you should get the 1 remainder. So always whenever you divide a power k with n, you should get the 1. So generally for different k values you will get the 1, but the order of the a is only the smallest k value, the smallest k value which gives the congruent 1. That is the order of the a. Order of the a means it is some smallest k value which gives the congruent 1 modulo n. For example, the generally order of modulo n is written as order n a. Order of a modulo n is written as order of n a or o n of a. For example, what is the define the multiplicative order of 4? Multiplicative order of 4 mod 7. Here 4 and 7 are the coprimes. That's why this 4, first to check this one. First to check the 4 power 1 value. 4 power 1 is equal to 4. 4 mod 7. 4 mod 7 is 3. So it is equal to 3. So it is not 1. So it is not the multiplicative order of the 4. Next, calculate 4 square. It is 16. 16 mod 7. 16 modulo division with 7. Their remainder is 2. So that's why it's not 1. Don't consider this one. Now calculate 4 cube. 4 cube value is 64. 64 modulo division with 7 is equal to 1 because 7 nines are 63. Then remainder is 1. So 4 cube, the 4 cube value returns the congruent one remainder. That's why this 3 is the order of 4. Order of 4 modulo division 7 is 3. Why we consider 3? Because that 4 power 3 gives the one congruent. That's why order of 4 is the order of 4 modulo 7 is the 3. Now consider another example. Define multiplicative order of 2 mod 7. So here we have to find out the multiplicative order of 2 modulo divide with 7. So to find this one, first check the 2 power 1 value. Actually 2 power 1 is 2, mod 7 is 2. So don't consider this one. Then 2 square. 2 square value is 4. 4 mod 7 is 4. So don't consider this one also. Next, 2 cube is equal to 8. 8 modulo division with 7 is remainder is 1. So it satisfies. We got the one congruent here. So at 2 cube, 2 power cube, for the 2 power cube, we got the congruent one. That's why order of 2 modulo division 7 is 3. That means for the 2 cube only we get the one congruent. That is the multiplicative order. Then we have the primitive root. Generally, if we have a group of values, when the order of an element is the same, the order of any element is same as the pi n. Suppose if n is the element, the order of that element is equal to the pi n. That element is called the primitive root of the group. Generally, see this one. See this table. This table is the Z7 star. That means multiplicative residues of 7. Z7. In this group, generally pi of 7 means, since 7 is the prime, its value is 6. So this is the result of the a power I x mod 7. A power I is equal to x mod 7. Now take the a value 1, a value 2, a value 3, a value 4, a value 5, a value 6. Here power values exponent I equal to 1, I equal to 2, I 3, 4, 5. Now check the if a is equal to 1 and I is equal to 1, then a power I is equal to, that means a is 1, I is 1. So 1 power 1 mod 7. 1 mod 7 is 1. So x equal to 1 here. If a is equal to 1 and I is equal to 1, then x is equal to 1. Similarly, If a is equal to 1, I is equal to, that means 1 square, it is 1, that's why equal to 1. For cube also 1, for 3, for all the values, its value, x value is 1. But in the case of the, if I is equal to, and if a is equal to 2, then 2 power this one, 2 power I, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 mod 7 is 2, 2 square, that means 4 mod 7 is 4. Now come here, to the power of 3, that is 8, 8 mod 7 is 1, it is 1. Next, for 2 to the power of 4 is 2, to the power of 5 is 4, to the power of 6 is 1. Actually, we got x is equal to 1 here, that is the residue, congruent value 1 here. Here also we got the 1 here, but we consider this one only, first occurrence of this one. So, if the element is 2, the element of 2, then its order is 3. For the 3, we get the congruent 1. We got the 1 for 6 also, but don't consider the next one, the minimum k value. So like this, here we got the x equal to 1, here x equal to 1, the first one, here x equal to 1, here x equal to 1. Among all these, what is the pi of 7 actually? Since the modulo divisor is 7, pi of 7 is 6. So which order? Actually, order of 1 is 1. Order of 1 is this one. Order of 2 is 3. This 3. Order of 3 is 6. Order of 4 is 3. Order of 5 is again 6. Order of 6 is 2. So what orders are equal to the pi of 7? So a is equal to 3, this order is equal to 6, and a is equal to 5 also, it is equal to this order equal to 6. That's why the prime roots of this group are 3 and 5. If a is equal to 3, then x equal to 1, at equal to 6. If a equal to 5 also, we got the order equal to 6. That's why these two are called prime roots. Now, in this group, how many number of primitive roots can be calculated by using this formula? So if p is a prime, pi of n, it is the total number of primitive roots. It gives the pi of n gives the total number of primitive roots of n. For example, find the primitive root of 761. Since 761 is the prime, first this pi 760 is 761 minus 1, that is 760. So pi of 760 can be written as pi of 2 cube into 5 into 19. This is equal to pi into 2 cube, pi 5, 19. Pi of 2 cube can be written as pi of 2 cube, 2 cube minus 2 square into its value, pi of 5 is 4, pi of 19 is 18. Its value equal to 288. So the primitive roots of 761 is 288. Next one is the Chinese remainder theorem. This can be used to solve a set of congruent equations. Suppose if we have the set of congruent equations with different residues, different modulo divisors. For example, if you consider this one, x is equal a1 mod m1. This x equal to a2 mod m2. This is m3 up to mk. So we have the different residues, different modulo divisors. So if we have the equations like this, how to find out the x value. So here all are the x here, but here a1 mod m1 modulo divisor is m1, here modulo divisor is m2, here modulo divisor is mk. So how to find out the x value? So this is the Chinese remainder theorem, CRT. So to calculate this one, there are 4 steps. First, to calculate the some m value, capital M equal to those modulo divisors m1 into m2 into multiply all the modulo divisors m1 m2. That is the m value. Then calculate m1, capital M1 is equal this m by m1, m2 is equal to m by m2, small m2, like that m of k, capital M of k is equal to m by mk. So after calculating the capital M1, M2, M3, M4, find out their inverses, multiplicative inverses, M1 inverse, M2 inverse, M3 inverse. Then by using these values, finally x value is equal to a1 into capital M1 into M1 inverse plus a2 into M2 into M2 inverse. By using this formula, you calculate the x value. Now consider this example. X is equal to 2 modulo division 3, x is equal to 3 mod 5, x equal to 2 mod 7. So what are the m1, m2, m3? So 3, 5, 7 are the this. So now capital M is equal this 3 into 5 into 7. This is the capital M. Now m1 is equal, this value is 105. 105 by m1 is equal to 35. m2 is equal to 105 by 5. These are the m1 capital M1, M2, M3. Then the multiplicative inverse, m1 inverse. m1 inverse means since m1 is equal to 35, m1 is equal to 35. Its inverse is equal to, how to calculate the m inverse. Generally, m inverse can be calculated using the formula. M inverse can be calculated. That means, for example, A inverse is equal to A power P minus 2 modulo division P. Modulo division P. So, A inverse here 35 inverse equal to 35 inverse equal to what is the modulo value? The modulo division for the first one is 3. So 35 inverse 35 inverse is equal to this 35 power, what is p value, modulo value 3 minus 2 mod 3 is equal to 35 mod 3. 35 mod 3 is, what is its value? 3 11 33, remainder is 2. So it is 2. Like that, calculate m2 inverse and m3 inverse. By using all these values, I would substitute all these values in this formula, then we will get the x value. X is equal this 23, x equal to 23. Like this, we will calculate the x value. These are different formats. And finally, we have the congruent, quadratic congruence. In the previous case, we have seen the factorization congruence. So by factoring the elements, we have calculated the congruence. Now, quadratic congruence is the congruence of the equation of the form. Assume if we have the equation of the form a2 some x square plus a1x plus a0 is equal to 0 mod n. Actually, in this equation, we will limit our discussion. Assume a2 equal to 1, this is 1, this is 0. Then this can be written as, if a2 is 1, then x square, and this is 0, that means x square plus a 0 is equal to 0 mod n. this can be written as x square is equal to a, send this a to here, a mod n, a mod n. So quadratic congruence means if we have the equation like this, x square is congruent to a, some a, modulo division with n, modulo divisor is n, x square is congruent to a mod n. So there are two congruents, quadratic congruent modulo prime, quadratic congruence modulo composite. Prime modulo here, that means n is the prime or n is the composite. If you check the first one, quadratic congruence modulo prime, p is the prime here. Now solve. How to solve this one? X square is congruent to 3 mod 11. How to check this one? Now to check this one, generally 3 congruent to modulo 11s are, so that means after dividing modulo dividing the 11 modulo divide by 11 with 3 or 14 or 2 plus 25, for all modulo divide with 11 we will get the 3 only. That's why 3 for 25 means 5 into 5, that means x square, or minus 5 into minus 5. So here the x square can be written as 25 mod 11. That means x is equal, this x square is equal to 25. So the x is equal to 5 mod 11 or x equal to minus 5 mod 11. So generally minus 5 can be congruent to 6. Generally in the multiplicative order, minus 5 can be congruent to 6. That's why x value can be 5 or 6. X value can be 5 or 6. This is the quadratic congruence modulo with modulo a composite value. Modulo, for example, x square, see this one, x square is congruent to a modulo n, where n is the composite value, product of the some elements. N is assumed as some p1 into p2 into some pk. Then this can be written as x square, this can be written as x square some a1 into mod p1, this p1. Then x square, another equation is x square is congruent to a2 mod p2. This is the p2, not p1. This is the p2. Then p3 up to pk. So by from these values, the x1 value can be plus or minus b1 mod p1. The x2 is plus or minus b2 into mod p2, like this. Now, for example, x square is congruent to 36 mod 77. 77 is the composite value. 77 is 7 into 11. This can be written as x square 36 mod 7, that is equal to 1 mod 7, and x square 36 mod 7 is equal to 3 mod 7. So here mod 7, here mod 77. So by using these two formulas, we have the different combinations, and these combinations are solved with the CRT theorem. So then x is equal plus or minus 6 or plus or minus 27. So this is the quadratic congruence modulo division. This will be useful in the public key cryptography. Public key cryptography. That will be explained in the next class.